Hi everyone. In this lesson, I'm going to go over similar figures. We're going to learn how to solve for the missing side given similar figures. And when solving problems like that, you will use a proportion. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so this side corresponds with this side. And this side corresponds with this side. And we will use these corresponding sides to write our proportion. So 12 corresponds with 3. We can write that as a ratio, just like 20 corresponds with x. And you have to be careful. Your order for the first ratio, okay, has to be the same order for your second ratio. Notice I went from large to small, 12 over 3. With my first ratio, I've got to use the same order when I write my second ratio on the other side, large to small. You could do it if you want small to large, small to large. Whatever order you choose, whatever order you use on the left, you have to use that same order on the right. Okay? So now we're just going to take the cross product. 3 times 20 is 60. And 12 times x is 12x. We will divide both sides by 12. X equals 5. So the missing side here is 5. All right, let's go to number 2. So this side x corresponds with this side, just like this side. Let me use a different color. Use black. Just like this side corresponds with this side. And now we'll write the proportion. So x over 9 equals, and I started with the smaller one, small to large. I have to use the same direction, small to large, 1 over 3. And then we'll take the cross product. It doesn't matter where you start. 1 times 9 is 9 equals this cross product. 3 times x is 3x. Divide both sides by 3, and x equals 3. So the missing side here is 3. All right, so this side corresponds with this side. So I can say x over 8 equals, this side corresponds with this side, equals 4 over 16. Take the cross product. 8 times 4 is 32. And x times 16 is 16x. Divide those sides by 16. And x equals 2. So this side here is 2. All right, let's try another one. So this side here corresponds with this side here. So that's 5 to x is equal to the ratio of these two corresponding sides, 4 to 8. Let's take the cross product. 4 times x is 4x. And 8 times 5 is 40. Divide both sides by 4. X equals 10. So this missing side is 10. 14 times 1 is 14. And 2 times x is 2x. Divide both sides by 2. And x equals 7. So 9 over x. And these are two corresponding sides. 6 over 24. Divide both sides by 6. And x equals 36. All right, so now I want to show you another method. Another method you can use to solve similar figures. Okay, you can check for the scale factor. You can see what is the scale factor between the two similar figures. So let's look at this one here. I see this is 9 and this is 99. That means if I take this and multiply it by 11, I get this side. Well, if I multiply this by 11, I have to multiply this by 11. So that means this is 110. So you can do that too, if the numbers are nice enough and easy enough to do. All right, let's look at this. So this is 10. To get 100, I have to multiply this by 10. Okay? And if this is 100, if this is 10, I got to multiply, because whatever this, if the scale factor here is 10, the scale factor between these two is 10, it has to be the same here too. So this will be 10. That means this is also 100. All right. Let's just look for the scale factor and use that. All right, so this is 6, this is 48. That means they took this and they multiplied it by 8. So that means I can take this 5 and multiply it by 8, and that'll give me this side right here, which is 40. All right. There is a relationship between this side and this side. This is 11, this is 22. That means they took 11 and multiplied it by 2 to get 22. So the scale factor is 2. So I can do the same thing here. All right. So if this is 16, this has to be 8. Okay, so if you take number 11, you rotate it, this 2, this side would sit on top of the 20, and this side here would sit right here. So what did they do to get 20? They multiplied by 10. So what are we going to do to get this side here? What are we going to do to 3 to get this side here? We will have to multiply that by 10 too to get this side here, 30. All right, let's look at the next one. 12 times what? How did they get 60? They multiplied it by 5 to get 60. Well, if this side is 12, well, hold on. This side is 60 and this side is 60. Both of these sides have to be the same length also, so this has to be 12 also. Okay, so I'll just erase this because we weren't looking for that. We were just using that to find the missing side. So the missing side is 12. And we figured that out, excuse me, because 12 times 5 is 60. And because these two sides are equal, these two sides have to be equal. All right, again, using the scale factor. Let's see, what is the scale factor for these two similar figures? How did they go from 10 to 40? They multiplied by 4. 14 times 4 is 56. So 3 times 4 will be 12. So just by using the scale factor, I can find the missing side. All right, last one. Let's determine the scale factor. So from here to here, they had to multiply by 9. See, from 10 to 90, they multiplied by 9. It doesn't matter which two you get, which two correspondents you get, you're going to find the same scale factor. So we need to multiply this side by 9 in order to get this side, because these are the corresponding sides. So if we multiply this by 9, 7 times 9, that means this side here will be 63. Okay? Now, did you have to do it this way? No, not if you don't want to. You could have used a proportion in each one of these problems. So you have to first think about rotating this so you can find the corresponding sides. Okay, 2 goes with 20, and 3 goes with x. And then you'll take the cross product. So that's 60 equals 2x. You'll divide by 2 both sides, and x equals 30. Let's do the same thing here. So we know this side, if we rotate it, it's going to match up with this side. So it's 12 over 60. And if we rotate this side, it'll match up with this side. So we'll have x over 60. We'll take the cross product, 60x from here equals 720. Divide by 60. X is 12. All right, so you can just stick with proportions and that'll work. You can do this. 10 corresponds with 40. Just like 3 corresponds with x. And we'll take the cross product, that's 120 equals 10x. We'll divide both sides by 10. And x equals 12. All right, so you get the same thing. We'll do this one here with proportions. So this side corresponds with this side. So I can do x over 7 equals, and I need another pair of sides. So I can do this side. Let me use a different color. This side corresponds. I don't want to use this side because the number is too big. I've got 14 and 126. Let's see if I can get another pair that's not as big, just to keep the numbers small enough. I could use, let me erase this. I could use this side and this side here because they have smaller numbers. And so I went from x to 7. So I'll go 36 to 4. Got to keep the same order. Let me try to keep the same color. 36 over 4. And now we'll take the cross product. 7 times 36. It's 252 equals 4x. Divide both sides by 4. And that'll give us 63. All right, number 15. Notice how these two sides, okay, are equal. These two sides are equal. So this side corresponds with this side, and this side corresponds with this side. Okay, so we can do 84 over 12. 84 over 12 is equal to x over 11. Okay, so again, This side corresponds with this side, just like this side corresponds with this side. All right, now let's go ahead and multiply. This will be 12x equals 84 times 11. That's 924. Divide by 12. 77. So x is 77. So this is 77. And you see it was just 11 times 7. And 12 times 7 is 84. 12 times 7 is 84. All right, let's see if we can use the scale factor here. That's 9 times 6 to get 54. 10 times 6 to get 60. 3 times, so if we divide this by 6, we will get 5 here. Okay, so we didn't have to use a proportion. We could, as long as the numbers are easy enough, you don't have to use a proportion unless the numbers are not so nice. All right, so let's see. This side corresponds with this side. Looks like they multiplied it using 10. They took 13 and multiplied it by 10 to get 130. So this side here corresponds with this side. So if we take 9 and divide it by 10, this is going to be 9. All right, let's keep going. This side corresponds with this side. Looks like they multiplied it by 4. They took this side and multiplied it by 4 to 12. We will take this side and multiply it by 4 to get 12. All right, so this side corresponds with this side. This side right here, if you rotate it, it will sit here on this side. And this side will sit on this side. Well, let's see. 11 times 4 will give us 44. 13 times 4 will give us 52. And so that means 4 times 4 will give us 16 for this one here. Again, you can write a proportion and solve it that way. All right, I'm going to use the scale factor again here. If you rotate this, that means this side will correspond with this side. 5 times 8 gives us 40. Okay? 5 times 8 gives us 40. So 7 times 8 gives us 56. So I have to take this side 7 times 8 again, and this will be 56. All right, you should pause the tape and try them yourself, and then come back and check. You should pause the video, try them yourself, and come back and check. All right, so 4 times 13 is 52. 7 times 13 is 91. So it looks like, yeah, the scale factor is 13. So then we're going to multiply 11 by 13 to get this side. 11 times 13, and this side will be 143. If you want to use a proportion, we could do that. This side is 4, and the corresponding side is 52. This long side is 11, and this is x. So we'll take 52 times 11. It's going to be 572. To these two. And then we'll take this cross product, divide both sides by 4, and we'll get 143. So again, you can use proportions for all of them. I'm just showing you an easier way that you can use to save some time for yourself sometime. Okay, so let's look at this one here. It looks like they multiplied 1 by 8. 1 times 8 will give you 8. So 14, let's see, 14 times 8, does that give us 112? And it does. So that means this one's also 14, because this is 112. All right, so this side here corresponds with this side, and looks like they multiplied it by 9. Well, let's check 13 times 9. Does that give us 117? Yes. So that means the scale factor is just 9. If I multiply this side by 9, I'm going to get this side, which is 27. All right. So it looks like this side corresponds with this side, 3 times 7. This side corresponds with this side because 12 times 7 is 84. And this side will correspond with this side. So we'll just divide this by 7 to get this. 91 divided by 7 will give us 13.